me, son, nephew, young man, let me holler at you. Look, women nurture, men show you how to be tough and resilient. So, if that's a man's goal to teach you that, then a man can't treat you like a woman. See, a lot of times, no offense, ladies, but when young men come up in single mother households, they don't know how to receive correction, instruction, and even love from a man. Because love from a man, no homo, pause. Love from a man is different than love from a woman. And young men, and when I say young men, I literally mean young men, because if you've gone into your 20s, even your 30s, and you didn't learn that, you got to learn it, because that's where you get your rigid structure that a man needs. So you can only give a man so much soft love and nurturing. At one point, you got to say, okay, bro, look, you got to do what you got to do. Stop all that crying. Stop the complaining. Come on, let's get to work. It is what it is. So if you've never understood that concept, I got to turn this air conditioner on. It might kill the sound quality. So I'm going to talk a little bit louder the best I can. All right. So if you've gone into whatever stage in life not knowing how to understand male correction, let me give you an example. So when my dad took me to my basketball coach, my dad was a old cowboy boot wearing dude who, cussed a lot and kind of said what was on his mind, just an old fashioned man's man. He took me to my basketball coach. He said, son, this is a simple concept. That's your coach. Do what he says. If you don't want to play and don't want to follow his instructions, quit. All you need to tell this man is yes, sir, and no, sir. And if you got a question, it better be a darn good question about basketball, I guess about life, but you got a daddy for that. Now, you got any questions for me? I said no, sir, to my dad. He walked off, and there was nothing else to say to the coach, because it wasn't going to be no begging for playing time, this, that, or the other. No, that's the coach. He's going to play who he chooses to play. He's going to run his offense the way he sees fit, and that's that, because I was taught discipline, order, and structure. Your mama going to put her arm around you and say, yeah, baby, it's going to be okay. Dad going to tell you, hey, fix that. Now, fathers, it is good to, when you can, explain why you're doing what you're doing. Everything can't just be because I said so with no explanation, or your child will grow to hate you. Same thing for coaches. Same thing for teachers. The Bible even says, fathers, don't provoke your children to wrath. It might say parents, but I think it says father specifically. Anyway, if you're a young man, you got to understand, sometimes when you're given an order, you need to just take the order, shut up, and do it. You could ask why later, but if a commanding officer or a person who's in authority gives you instructions, you need to take them, because there's a reason for it. Unless you have deemed this person to be incompetent. But if you're going to do that, you need to get out of that person's organization, out of that person's job, out of that person's school, out of that man's household if it's your daddy. You can't expect a man to love you the same way a woman will. He might not do a lot of talking. He ain't gonna do it. If he's a real man, he ain't finna be repeating himself over and over again. Some men, old-fashioned dudes, ain't finna repeat nothing. And ladies, y'all gotta understand, if you want an actual man to love you, he ain't gonna love you like a female or your mama or your female friend. I don't know where y'all get that from, but that's a different story for a different day, and I don't want no females coming in here arguing with me, but if you do, I love you, ladies. It's okay. It's all right, baby. Just put your, leave your comment or whatever, say what you got to say, cuss me out. We'll be all right, and we'll go on to the next topic. So just as a recap, young men, understand, men are different from women. Learn to accept male constructive criticism. And just because he's saying it with the authority of a man's voice does not mean he doesn't love you, care for you, or want to see you do the best as you can in life. That's exactly what that sounds like. It sounds like strength. It sounds like courage. It sounds like frustration. It sounds like sometimes like disappointment. But it's also because that man thinks you can do better than whatever your current level of output is now. Now, when a man stops talking to you, that's when you need to worry, because now that man is deemed that you're not worthy of receiving information, instruction, or even correction. Like I said before, leave a comment, positive or negative. It's all good. Hit the like button or the dislike button. That's great too. Share the content, because I meet young people every day who need this information. Teenagers and young adults in their 20s. Matter of fact, you look at my demographics, that's what it's showing me. It's showing me that I got 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds. They're getting to that point in life because people on YouTube looking for answers, right? So somewhere along the line, somebody's saying, okay, there's a couple of things about manhood that I might need to brush up on. You might be like me and your father died early. Rest his soul, rest in peace. But hey, it was like that, and I had to learn some stuff the hard way. It's part of my motivation for doing this. Feel free to subscribe if the content is what suits your needs. You might hear me make a joke every now and then, but the content mostly is serious here. My bad, y'all. I ran out of space. I was about to say, never lose the will to win and never lose the will to survive. But you know what? You learn that from being around men too. Not only do you need to learn how to take love, instruction, and correction from men, but you need to find positive men to be around. You're only going to learn how to be a man from other men. So again, as always, never lose the will to win, never lose the will to survive.